As the sun begins to rise over a frozen Devil's Lake,
How many guys are you taking?
the guests file into Woodland Resort.
How many you got with you, Nick?
All here to be guided by the Perch Patrol.
Drop that down, go ahead and open your bail.
Led by a man with an unforgettable aura
It's organized chaos.
and unforgettable nickname.
Nice to meet you. I'm Zippy.
For the last 18 years, it's been the same thing.
Nice Devil's Lake walleye.
Ice fishermen from across the nation
Mercer, Wisconsin.
The Youper from Michigan.
From Watertown.
with one common bond, the desire to fish with Zippy.
I said, what kind of special rate will you give me? He says, 150, just like everybody else.
Zippy's love for Devil's Lake began at an early age, the son of a local farmer, yet it was his grandfather that got him hooked.
My dad always farmed, and he was busy working on the farm, and of course Grandpa was retired, and he always took me fishing.
Steve Zippy Dahl didn't always have this empire of portable fish houses. After graduating from the University of North Dakota, he tried his hand at the 9-to-5 lifestyle, but soon found out it didn't suit him. Wasn't his passion. Ice fishing was. Now he's making a living doing it, very profitable, and having a whole heck of a lot of fun.
I think I could write a book, Rob. So I like to have a good time and show people a good time, and you know, we've got a great crew of guys here.
Zippy's got so many tricks up his sleeve, from pranks to jokes to whatever.
Though catching fish is never a guarantee, one thing is, you fish with Zippy, you're gonna get some stories.
Oh, we had a guy catch on fire once. That was kind of crazy. Caught the biggest perch he ever caught in his life. Bends down to pick it up, and his butt catches on fire. Stop, drop, and roll.
One word that sums up Zippy would be fun.
Fun that shows no sign of slowing
Oh,
down.
I don't see myself quitting. It's what I love to do. And winter and summer is I just living the dream. It's a fun way to make a living, and it's a very rewarding type career. You get some days you help a little kid catch his very first fish, or some days you help an old timer catch maybe his very last fish.
Now, if you're interested in fishing with the Perch Patrol, you can just find all their information on their website, but you better act fast. The bite's expected to be picking up. It's a mystery and a tragedy that people of our region know all too well. A dwindling moose population that has biologists and wildlife officials puzzled. It's happening again, this time in northeast Minnesota, where the DNR there is reporting the moose population has dropped 35% in 1 year, prompting an immediate cancellation of the moose hunting season and a new aggressive approach by wildlife biologists to come up with answers. High above the forest floor, the hunt is on. Not to harm, but to help. In northeast Minnesota, DNR biologists are fitting 100 moose to determine why the population has dropped so dramatically in the last year.
How's she doing?
She's at 104.6 right now.
We could guess, is it habitat, is it deer, is it predation, is it a combination of factors, is it disease related to white-tailed deer, is it disease related to climate change? We just don't know. So until we have a better understanding of why animals are dying, we can't really make any definitive changes in management.
Once a moose is tranquilized, the researchers work fast. They have just over an hour to gather all the information, blood, hair, and tissue samples, without further traumatizing and damaging the animal.
You're very respectful, very quiet, you're trying to do your job in the quickest and safest way possible, trying to minimize mortality, minimize injuries, because you're doing something traumatic. You're darting an animal from a helicopter, then you're spending 30 minutes with that animal doing a variety of things. So you're real aware of what you're doing, but it's still it's special. You never get tired of it. Every moose that I've done or every animal I've interacted with, you have the same feeling. Hopefully you never lose that.
The moose are being fit with high-tech GPS collars.
We have some amazing technology on board. We have some really awesome GPS collars that essentially have the equivalent of a cell phone inside of them. And they essentially will tell us when the animal dies. They will send the team of responders a text message that says the animal has died and with the location of where we can find it at.
Researchers are also putting a device in the digestive tracts of 27 animals. If the device senses the moose's heart has stopped, It will alert researchers of mortality through a text message. Strangely enough, messages of hope. Hope of answers as to why the numbers of these iconic animals are rapidly dropping, first in northwestern, now northeastern Minnesota. GPS signals from the collared moose indicate that the three animals will meet the Grand Forks man that makes Red River Muddy Waters his catfish kingdom.
Like a real-life superhero torn from the pages of an outdoor magazine. Meet Brad Durick, mild-mannered TV advertising sales rep by day, catfishing guide extraordinaire on days off. Simply put, in this muddy water world of river monster fishing, Brad Durick is the man.
I'll keep an eye on it. We're so lucky here that I expect a trophy catfish every day I'm out here. It's that good of a body of water.
A body of water that Durick has mastered in just 6 years. Catfishing success that has not gone unnoticed. Magazines, TV segments.
Why you come to North Dakota to catch channel cats on the famous Red River right with Brad Durick, right there.
And seminars soon follow.
Guiding wasn't my dream. It just wasn't. I spent a lot of years out here in a 1977 Lund with a 15 horse. And, there was a lot of catfish put through that boat.
There he goes.
Came out, we played around, caught a lot of fish, and then as things kind of started to progress, talking to another guide in town, and there was definitely a need for a guide developing. And then I got into doing a little bit of TV for a couple of crews, and it just kind of clicked that maybe this is an area I should get into.
A side story, how Durick was introduced to the river, is equally compelling. Chance Sunday morning trip with none other than WDAZ's general manager Rob Horkin, also known as Ernie the Angler.
Our then sales manager, now general manager, Rob Horkin, is saying, you got to go down to the river and try these catfish out. And so we chit-chatted about it a little bit. My buddy and I tried it with little or no success. And so one day he decided to take us out and got into about a 6-pounder on a walleye rod. And it was pretty much all downhill from there, or uphill, whichever way you want to put it.
It was a Sunday morning, and we went out catfishing and caught some fish and just had a great time. And he was immediately hooked. It was hook, line, and sinker, as they say. And now we have a monster on our hands.
I get people in from all over the country that spend their whole lives, 20, 30 years chasing catfish. And they might have a 12-pound channel or a 15-pound channel for their biggest catfish ever. I expect to do that multiple times each day. That's how lucky we are here on the Red River.
Wow, I love the way he says that.
And he is the man, really. I mean, when he says he expects those big fish, we caught some big fish. What I thought were big fish, he was disappointed.
And that's one of those stories that needs